Kennett, Zenith Cablevision. Thank you for watching. It's time for talk. Each evening at this time, Monday through Friday, Rosemary interviews local personalities and others who bring items of interest to this community. Time for Talk is a community betterment service. Tonight, Rosemary takes us by means of portable camera out of our studios and maybe into your neighborhood. And now, it's time for Talk.
Well, we promised to keep you up to date on Lake Jerry Paul. We came out today, and the progress, you cannot imagine the progress that has gone on. I think that I stand here on this bank and count 17 vehicles that are moving down there, and one just about to come up here right at us. A water truck, he sprayed a little bit out on the bank down there and is moving on past us. I suppose he waters down the area to keep it livable out there in this drought season we're having right now. But you see what's going on down there. They're leveling, they're moving, and perhaps we can grab someone to talk to explain exactly what this work is at this time. But here you see the lake as we haven't looked at it for about 2 months, and there's water standing. You see the spawning, I think he called those spawning beds. You see the trees, trunks piled up, a good place for fish to spawn. And I would like to talk with someone about whether or not the water retention in this lake has been what they expected, if they're still having problems. It looks as if all work has stopped on this lake, and you see this partial dam across between them. Now, whether this will be a permanent area that you can drive across, I don't know. But I see it looks like more than 17 vehicles moving out there. It seems that I see about 8 land leveling machines going. I wish one of the land levelers would drive up here so we could see if the work is progressing just as they planned. And this pile of rocks, there are piles of rocks all along this levee. You see over on the far bank, now I don't know if you call that rip-wrapping, that's the only phrase that comes to my mind, but you see what they have done all along over there. I would assume that that's what will be done with this pile of rocks. They intend to build a solid levee and have it reinforced with rock. It's incredible the amount of equipment and the amount of machinery that's moving dirt out there. I hope you can appreciate that, because it was amazing to us as we drove up and looked out and got the camera out to see all this activity going on. The young man told us this is one of the inspectors coming, one of 6 people who are inspecting, and perhaps we can find out some information from him. Now here is what a well-dressed inspector wears if your job is building a lake. You have brought part of it up with you this time. Looks like you've really been working.
Yeah, it's pretty hot out there today.
Okay, now tell me, he said you're an inspector. What's your name?
Oh, I'm not an inspector. I'm running a part of the crew down here as far as building the lake.
All right, good. You probably know more than an inspector would anyway. Tell me, is this going to be 2 different areas? Will this be connected? Will this road stay in the middle? What about this?
Yes, this road will be a fish berm. Right now it's just a temporary test levee to make sure we're holding water on the back side to make sure it doesn't leak out.
So it will stay, but it will be covered with water?
Yes, there will be about 4 foot on top of water, and it will be a fish structure where fish will lay on it and then fishermen can fish off of it.
Okay, I see. Okay. Now, Now, what about this? Is it holding water? Are you pleased with what's happening?
Yes, we've got approximately 4 to 6 foot of water over the back half of it already, and it seems to be holding.
Okay, and so there's no leakage like there was when it was completed last time?
No, ma'am. We're actually gaining water every day. The water level's raising.
And where's it coming from? We're not getting that much rain.
We have a primary pump over there that we'll use to pump it, and we also have a secondary pump we hooked up to pump more water in to test it as we're going along.
Okay. Now tell me what the plans are for this. Is this going to look exactly like that when it's finished?
Yes, ma'am. The entire lake will be about, it'll have between 8 to 10 foot of water in it.
Okay, and this will be 4 feet above this drive that we're seeing now?
Yes, there'll be 4 foot of water above that at full pull.
Now, who's coordinating all of this at this point?
The Missouri Department of Conservation is running the...
Now, that's who you're working for?
Yes. My name's Chris Kochers. I'm Design and Development with the Missouri Department of Conservation. And we're running the job, and we're also inspecting it. We have our own inspectors, too.
Okay. Now, he said there were, he thought, 6 inspectors. Is that about right? And what are they inspecting?
Well, we're having 2 inspectors, and they're checking over for quality control to make sure we're doing our job right as a construction outfit.
Now, are you running into these sand fissures that evidently are remnants of the New Madrid earthquake? Are you running into those areas? Can you see them? Can you tell where they are? And what do you do about it?
Yes, we can see a lot of them, and we're spotting them when we're cutting the floor out. We're spotting them and seeing them. What we're doing with them is we're taking them over, and you can see these little islands and things out here. We're building fish habitats out of them.
Well, you mean, what do you mean? You're taking them over. You're digging the sand out?
We are digging the sand out and bringing it back in with compacted gumbo, so it'll seal the floor off, and then use the remnants of the sand for fish structures out on top of the compacted floor already.
Now, when those land levelers are going along, can they see those sand? Can they see those fissures?
Yes, they can see the sand pockets, and they go around it, and then we'll have 2 others.
Oh, I'd like to see one of those. Is it possible? Is there anything we could see with the camera to show the people what it would be like?
Yes, we could go down there to the bottom where we're cutting out right now, and you can see the different sand.
You know where one is?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, could we go in your car? Could we drive down?
Yes.
Okay, we're in the truck with Chris, and we're moving down toward the construction site, or I don't guess do you call this a construction site?
Yes,
when
ma'am.
They're excavating?
Yes, ma'am.
And we're going to actually be able to see some sand fissures, some things that caused all the problem in the first place, where the water leaked through.
Yes, I guess after the earthquake happened, it pushed a bunch of sand seams up, and if you didn't seal them off on the floor, then when it got so much pressure of water on top of it, it just filtered through.
Okay, now did the first people who did this survey project and engineering, did they not realize that these sand fissures were there?
I don't know if they realized it or not. I didn't have any part of that. That was on the engineering side, but it's apparent to me that going through here, you would be able to tell to see it by working around it.
We're right here with in the middle of the activity going on. Do you ever get stuck down in here?
Well, it gets quite muddy when it rains.
Did you get rain the other day when we got the inch in town?
Yes, we had an inch out here last Sunday afternoon. Here would be a good one to show you.
Getting out of a truck, sitting up like that first step was a good big one. Okay, now what do we have?
As you can see the difference in the layer of the gumbo and the sand seams, you can see them running all over the bottom of the floor.
Now, is that all over, or is it pretty well, do you follow a strip What does it look like?
Well, some of them are in strips, and then some of them are just in big pockets of sand. It just depends, and we follow them all over the whole bottom of the lake.
Okay, now I see this tractor back here really digging a hole. Is he digging out a pocket, or is this something else?
Yes, what he's doing is digging out a pocket of sand that he's found that's deeper, and then we'll bring it back in compacted layers of a foot. He's found a bigger hole there, too big for to take a tractor and scraper through there. He's digging it out and loading it into another one, and they're hauling it out.
Okay, he's going to haul this out.
Yes.
And then what is he going to put back in there? Where is he going to get something to put
and then
back?
We're going to come over here and get this good gumbo and take it in there and put it in foot layers and compact it up to grade.
Now, when you talk about good gumbo, you're talking about...
We're talking about this good darker that we'll moisten it with a water truck, and we'll compact it up in layers so it seals and gets tight so water won't be able to go through it.
And water won't seep through that?
No, water will not. We've already have 80 acres done and tested, and it's working on it.
I see him going there with a big load of dirt. What's he going to do with that?
Yeah, he's got some scraps and some sand, and he's going to take it over there and put it on that hill over there, which we call a fish structure.
Okay.
It's a berm. It's not good enough material to be used to line the floor, so it'll have to be hauled off as trash over there on a fish habitat.
Okay, now, right here in front of me, I see a pile. What about this?
This here is our stations across the bottom of our floor. As you can see in this section here, we've already cut her down to 2 foot, have all our wasted material out of it. Well, then what we're going to do is we'll come back and put our first foot of layer of good gumbo in and compact it in moisture, and then the second layer of good gumbo will go on top. And then these stakes represent where our line, we're going to build another levee across there, and then that'll be another test spot to hold a foot to 2 foot of water.
Now, did they come in before and dig this out and be sure there was a layer of gumbo in here at all? Did they do this preliminary work like this?
I have no idea what the other construction company did before I've got on site.
Schedule? Okay, are you on schedule?
Yes, we're on schedule as of right now. The weather kind of held us back a little bit, but we've gained ground here in the last couple weeks when it's been dry and nice.
Okay, and what's the completion date? Have you got one to shoot at?
We're trying to shoot for the middle of September, probably.
Oh, really?
1st of November, when everything will be completed.
Middle of September. 1st of November.
Yes, we still have some preliminary work around the outside. And
okay, so mid-September you feel like the bottom of this will be done? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, ma'am.
The fellow standing here with the pole, it's like a survey thing.
Yes, this guy with the survey pole is reading off the transit, and he's got a little eyelet on the top. He's making sure we cut down our 2 foot at depth. And then, like I said, then we will come back and put our first layer of compacted gumbo and then our second layer. He's making sure we dig it deep enough and seal everything off so nothing will leak through.
2 layers of compacted gumbo.
Yes, ma'am.
Dig out all the sand pockets you can find, and this is what a sand pocket looks like.
Yes.
So evidence of the earthquake, but also evidence that we're going to get this lake fixed, and it's really going to go. I'm eager to fish in here.
That's good. I'd like to see that.
Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome. Thank you.